Once children get into year 5, they're typically doing calculations involving 4 and 5 digit numbers. And that means instead of using base 10, they're going to be using representations of numbers using place value counters. So here we have our place value counters. And the calculation that's being done in this video is this one: 43,909 take away 32,651. And there's a bit of a tricky zero there, and I'm going to have to use a strategy later on called exchange to help me subtract. So I know already from all my years of being in school that the order I do a calculation in for subtraction is really important. I've got to get my numbers presented in the right order, and it's no exception when it comes to doing it in columns. So I know that I've got to put the number I am taking away from, technically known as the minuend, has to go in my top row here, and the number I am taking away, known as the subtrahend, has to go underneath it in the next row. And at this stage of learning, the number you are taking away from will always be bigger in value in total than the number you are taking away. But again, I've got that tricky zero there, so this is how we do this strategy. So I will have already drawn in my book, using a ruler nice and neatly, my place value grid, as well as writing out my abstract. And I've labelled it ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands. And I'm going to be drawing the value. I'm going to start with my ones here. And I'm only going to be drawing out the number I'm taking away from my minuend. So I'm going to put in my 9 ones here first of all. And you may see in your children's books different representations. They might be differentiated, the counters values, by the colour, or they might be labelled 1, 10 and 100 with the digits, or they might have the initial of the value they're representing. So I've got 9 ones. Now I've got no tens here, so I'm going to leave that blank because I've got nothing there. And now on to my hundreds column. And again, I'm going to set it out, draw it super neatly so I can see at a glance what the value is. And just as in my addition video, here's one I prepared earlier. I'm going to do my calculation, and with every type of column calculation you always start with the furthest right hand column, which in this case is a 1. And you'll see as well that we don't draw the number we're taking away, we write it down in figures, and it just makes life a lot less complicated because it shows me what I've got to take away. So I've got 9, take away 1, so I'm going to show that by crossing off, not rubbing out, but crossing off a 1. So now I can count the difference. What I've got left: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 take away 1 is 8. 9 subtract 1 gives me a difference of 8. Now on to my tens column. Oh my goodness, I've got no tens here, but I'm still being asked to take away 5 tens. So this is where the exchange comes in. I'm going to exchange one set of 100 for 10 sets of 10. Now I can't put hundreds in my tens column, but I can put tens in there. And I already know that 10 times 10, 10 lots of 10, is the same as 1 lot of 100. 10 lots of tens is the same as 100. So this is how I draw that I have exchanged one set of 100 for 10 sets of 10. And I would show this on my abstract by I've exchanged one of my hundreds for 10 sets of 10. But in so doing that, I don't have 900s anymore. I have got 800s. So I need to show that. So I exchanged 100 for 10 tens and now have 800s left. You can see this. I've got 800s there, 10 tens. Now I can do my calculation. 10 tens take away 5 tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 gives me a difference of 5, and I can clearly see that there. 10 tens take away 5 tens is the same as 5 tens. Now on to my hundreds. I've got my 8 hundreds remaining and I've got to take away 6 of them. So I'm going to take a 1, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and I can just see that I've got 200s remaining. 800s take away 600 is 200. And now the rest is much more straightforward. 3,000 take away 2,000 gives me 1,000. 3,000 minus 2,000 is a difference of 1,000. And then 1, 2, 3, 40,000 take away 30,000. 10, 20, 30,000 gives me 10,000 left. One set of 10,000. 40,000 take away 30,000 gives me one set of 10,000. It's a difference of 10,000. When we're writing numbers greater than 3 digits, we always separate our hundreds from our thousands using a comma. So I'm going to do that carefully in my abstract, making sure it doesn't look like any one or it doesn't look like a decimal, and I'm going to do that there as well to make sure it doesn't look like base 10. And this would be how we would calculate 43,909 subtract 32,651 using the exchange strategy.